Shalom. Shalom and welcome back. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is part 2 of Man's Final Steps, a continuing series, a segment that is entitled Refining and Defining Moments. So this is part 2 of Refining and Defining Moments. Man's Final Steps is a continuing series to those who will be among the ranks of 144,000 and multitude mentioned in Revelation chapters 7 and 14. Today is February 25th. My name is Symmanayah, and this, again, is part 2 of the segment entitled Refining and Defining Moments. We concluded part 1 with defining moments as it relates to drought. Let us now look at famine. Believe it or not, there are some people who do not know the definition of the word famine. Allow me to present what the dictionary defines as the meaning of famine. Extreme scarcity of food. Any extreme or general scarcity. Extreme hunger, starvation. My brothers and sisters, there is no doubt if people begin to suffer from not having food or water, it will result in mass chaos, violence, turmoil, economic collapse, deaths, and much more. There's roughly over 300 million people in the United States. Imagine all waiting until maximum severe conditions hit before looking for solutions. What do you think that will resemble? Millions of people scrambling trying to find food or fresh water. Do you think people will start migrating to places where they believe food and water exist? Some of you may easily answer yes, and some will probably say this is a dumb question. But who is giving thought that these conditions are actually unfolding as I present this message? On the matter of famine, all food eaten requires water. These conditions, famine represents more defining moments. Are you able to see and hear what is emerging along with what the Spirit of Yahushua is ordering regarding your place during these end times? The severe drought that California, Brazil, China, India, Bangladesh, Syria, and other parts of the country are experiencing, it will affect the food that is on our table. It is going to take much work and the gathering of those who will be directed to a safe place as these times intensify. Yes, there will be a gathering of the children of obedience. Are you waiting? Are you waiting for millions before reacting? Are you waiting to see millions reacting and frantically running to and fro before it really sinks in that these are indeed defining moments? My brothers and sisters, there's more regarding end-time prophecy, especially the importance of knowing that these are defining moments. All too often we struggle trying to determine what must we do when things become clear. I submit to you, each of us will witness those who recognize the need for a sense of urgency, while some will respond quicker than others. We owe it to ourselves to earnestly pursue what must be done as these defining moments unfold before our very lives, before our very eyes. I strongly urge each and every listener to pray earnestly for a discerning mind, body, and soul to understand what must be done and respond with precision. Let's look at more that is unfolding while many of us may be asleep. There are those of us who are awake. Pestilence and disease. My brothers and sisters, during extreme drought, pestilence increase from the very microscopic bugs to very large, much larger insects. They feed on weakened plants and vegetation. With the advent of a rise in technology, it would not take much effort to discover that severe drought weakens plant life, which breeds pestilence. It would not take much effort for you to find confirmation to these words. And in the wake of increased insect life will come a rise in disease. Yes, disease. What will be the magnitude of pestilence and disease before you are able to identify these end time prophecies? These conditions are indeed defining moments, moments where we should and must strongly consider what must be done. Will you wait until a loved one is infected before attempting to determine a safe place to be, or look for solutions, or consider migrating to where you are so ordered by the Spirit of Yahushua? Will a loved one, or perhaps yourself, become infected with a terrible disease as a result of a rise in pestilence before you earnestly begin to seek, discern, and understand what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying? End times are here, and with each passing day, though many are unaware, these conditions are rampantly increasing. They are enlarging before us, my brothers and sisters. Burying our heads in the sand, avoiding discussing the realities of such, will not make them go away. Let us continue with more defining moments: whirlwinds and storms. There's no secret that climate change or global warming is affecting our weather patterns. Severe weather systems have increased across the globe, from floodings to hurricanes to tsunamis to earthquakes to volcanic eruptions. My brothers and sisters, scriptures inform us that the Almighty Father, Yahuwah, has his way in the whirlwind and the storms. Case in point, Nahum 1:3, which reads as follows: Yahuwah is patient and great in power, but by no means leaves unpunished. Yahuwah has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Humbling events are unfolding, my brothers and sisters. They have reached the doorsteps of many of our brothers and sisters in different parts of the world. Let us not take for granted, because we are finding favor and mercy, that it will not come to our doorsteps. For soon and very soon there will be forced migration, forced movement across the globe. One can get stuck and rest with the literal or context of this passage, or you can choose to see the life in this passage and come to grips that whirlwinds and storms have different faces. There are conditions which happen naturally, so to speak, and there are conditions resulting from man's negligence, greed. In either case, the Most High Father, Yahuwah, has his way. The bottom line, my brothers and sisters, in whirlwinds and storms, we cannot have any control. We do not have any control, for they can be uncontrollable by man. They often lead to destruction. Yes, destruction, or even in the shadows of destruction, the foreshadow of destruction, we know that severe storms and whirlwinds weaken man, physically, mentally, spiritually so. Ask anyone who has been in the midst of any type of storm, snowstorm, tornadoes, hurricanes, tsunami, and ask them what was their state of mind, their state of spirit, their state of being. And you will see that weakness comes. When destruction enlarges, there come times when people don't know what to do. And this is when we tend to lean and seek the face of the Almighty Father very fervently, especially when we become lost in the midst of our weakness. Believe it or not, my brothers and sisters, these are part of the humbling events that will refine the 144,000 in multitude as we are gathered together, and until we are guided to that safe appointed place that has been established for us. The future will be like never before, witnessed by man, woman, or child. My brothers and sisters, I am not trying to present scare tactics, but merely bring to you the importance of coming to grips with the realities of what season it is and what lies ahead. I do not want to be remiss by not sharing the following scriptures. Matthew 24:6-8 reads, And you shall begin to hear of fightings and reports of fightings. See that you are not troubled, for these have to take place, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, reign against reign, and there shall be scarcities of food, deadly diseases, and earthquakes in places. And all these are the beginning of birth pains. Luke 21:10-11 reads, Then he said to them, Nation shall rise against nation, reign against reign, and there shall be great earthquakes in various places, and scarcities of food, and deadly diseases, and there shall be horrors and great signs from heaven. Are we prepared to respond to the living instructions from the Spirit of Yahushua? The time is at hand to begin seeking to earnestly discern and understand, to begin to plan and respond to your calling, the calling that comes to us individually and collectively. In all that is described regarding end times, there are responsibilities that exist for each of us. The time to wake up from our slumber and earnestly seek to improve in worship, to obey, that time is now, my brothers and sisters. All that is unfolding will be part of the refining process for the children of obedience. Those who will come to be identified as the 144,000 and multitude, who will come out of the great tribulation and be directed to a safe appointed place. There are many false teachings out there which promote a rapture taking place before the return of our Mashiach, our Messiah. Soon these teachings will be brought to an end as proof unfolds, unveiling the wickedness in such belief. Soon, man will know there will be no mysterious rapture any day now. My brothers and sisters, we are facing some trying times. Nevertheless, the 144,000 and multitude will come out of the great tribulation. We will witness guides chosen by the Spirit of Yahushua. We will be guided to a place located somewhere near the region of the true Mount Sinai, which is commonly known as Jebel al-Lawz in northern Saudi Arabia. Somewhere within that region is a place appointed for the 144,000 and multitude who will be gathered to a safe place. We will witness something phenomenal and extraordinary unfold. For the power and might of the Almighty Father will emerge like never before. The last two shepherds of Yasharal will soon appear. We know them as the two witnesses of Revelation, and we will witness their ministry, which will be confirmed and supported by the last chosen elders of Yasharal, chosen by the Spirit of Yahushua, who will participate in their ministry. They will participate in the structuring and the shaping of the 144,000 multitude as guided by the Spirit of Yahushua. We will witness a unified group emerge. Yes, refining and defining moments are here, and they are intensifying. Pray, watch, study, pray some more, and behold the unfolding of end-time prophecies like never before. Prophecies that have been foretold ages ago are unfolding right before our eyes. Remember, this plan belongs to the Most High Father Yahuwah. And believe it or not, millions will begin to flee to and fro, trying to discern what must be done. While the wicked one assembles a new world order, while the anti-Mashiach and false prophet in the beast system is soon to unfold, for those who seek to worship and obey the Almighty Father, we will witness the structuring of the children of obedience, the 144,000, 12,000 from each of the tribes of true Yasharal, and a multitude of every nation, kindreds, and tongues who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father come together. We will find and discover deliverance. Who is it that has an ear to listen? Who will respond? It will be the children of obedience. The Most High will not be asking our permission to decide who participates. It will result in orders and commands from He that is Almighty. We will come to rejoice in our salvation, but we will weep for those who are lost and left behind. These times are real, my brothers and sisters. They are emerging before our very eyes. Begin to discuss these matters with loved ones. Begin to discuss these matters among your camps. I have seen and heard of individuals talking about they're preparing to leave the United States in their prospective countries. I've seen individuals talk about getting passports, being prepared with their passports. Yes, I must admit, one sister brought this to my attention again, and I've heard it over and over, where Maoris are telling individuals to get their passports. Passports cost money, and passports go through a process of which the government have established. I ask you, do you honestly believe the last exodus of the righteous, the last exodus of the children of obedience from the four corners of the earth, will be dependent upon the constraints of the government regarding passports? What about those who have no money? What about those who meet certain criteria that impede them from getting passports, but have faced down and pleaded and yielded before the living guidance of the Spirit of Yahushua? Do you believe honestly that the constraints and the mechanisms that the world government have will honestly stop what is about to unfold? I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, these are refining times. These are refining and defining moments. We will come to see such power that is necessary to assemble the children of Yahuwah together as a unified bunch, a unified group, a magnificent body of one with many members. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. These are indeed man's last days, man's final steps. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, be encouraged. Rise up and hear. Hear what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying. Let our eyes begin to see and our ears be opened, and let us come to understand with discernment that is provided by the Spirit of Yahushua, and let us move with precision. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, rise up and hear. Prepare, for the body of the children of obedience is being called, is being refined. Until next time, stay tuned as this series, Man's Final Steps, continues. This concludes part 2 of a multi-part segment entitled Refining and Defining Moments. This is the conclusion of that multi-part segment. Thank you for tuning in. I salute your patience, your endurance, and your desire to do the will of the Almighty Father more than anything, and accepting of Yahushua as Mashiach, our Messiah. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, shalom, shalom, shalom.